it's Bharon with OneChiropractic. So I'm breaking the mold here. I'm doing things a little bit differently today because I want to give you a context of where we're going with this series. So hopefully to this point, you've been just loving this information that Dr. Barwell is sharing. I've been getting incredible feedback. Thank you so much for sending it to me. I'm glad you're loving the series. It's everything actually more than I hoped it would be when we sent this out. But today I kind of want to give you context of where we're headed, right? I told you this was 45 sessions because I'm trying to bring in other players into this conversation of neurologically based chiropractic. And so I'm going to do a couple videos here where I'm giving you some information on where we're going with this, how to frame what you've been learning so far, because the number one question I'm getting is, Bharon, this is awesome stuff, but how do we do this in practice? What about communicating to our patients? And how do we start sharing this information in our community so people start understanding the power of the adjustment? So hopefully these next couple videos will give you some insight on where we're coming from within OneChiropractic and hopefully transition into what you're doing in your particular practice. So the first thing I want to tell you is we did not introduce this because we're trying to sell a technique, we're trying to sell a piece of equipment. We're not doing any of that. All we're trying to do is change the conversation. So some of your questions I don't necessarily have answers to because we're on this journey with you, but we felt like it needed to be shared and we needed to start challenging the status quo in our profession. And what I love about the comments I'm getting back from you are that it's exciting you, you're loving it, you can't wait to get the next piece of information. And so as I introduce these new players coming through, the next person I'm going to be talking to is Dr. Dan Sullivan. Most of you may know him. He's been around. The Chiropractic Advocate is his company or website. But Dan's been speaking a lot about research and about the adjustment and the neurology. So I'm excited to kind of bring his purview into this. My whole vision was to have Dr. Barwell find a foundation so that you understood this conversation and what we meant by neurologically based chiropractic. Now I'm going to start bringing in some other people with their perspectives so that we can surround this issue completely. Because I think you would agree, we sometimes have tunnel vision in chiropractic and we only see things from one perspective, which is why we alienate half the profession. So I don't want that to happen with this movement. I want to keep growing it. I want to keep introducing you to new people that maybe you'll respond to a little bit better than you did to someone else. But as we talk to Dr. Dan Sullivan coming up, he's going to share with you his experience of traveling around the country, what his research has showed, and what God's really placed on his heart. And hopefully that will speak to you. After that, I'm going to start bringing in a couple doctors that have actually implemented this mindset of neurologically based chiropractic into their office and the different things that they've done, the things that they've seen as they're communicating to their patients on this terminology of sensory input, on neurological involvement, and getting away from more of the structural conversation that we typically have in chiropractic. So as I bring in Dr. Ella Kaufman and I bring in some other doctors that are doing this on a regular basis, hopefully you're going to gain some insight on how they've taken it into their practice. I'm also going to be bringing in Dr. Bob Hoffman from the Master Circle Global. So they've made a shift, whether you're aware of this or not. They, as a consulting company, have now totally bought into this neurologically based chiropractic, and they're helping doctors actually incorporate this into their office. And so I want to be sharing with him about what he's seen as he's transitioning practices into more of a neurologically based chiropractic. So I know you're going to get a lot of tidbits out of that. And we're going to keep introducing, and I haven't forgot about Dr. Heidi Havik. We're going to be bringing her into this process as well. But I got to get in her schedule. She's very busy. So I'm going to keep adding people. We're going to be bringing in Patrick Porter from BrainTap. I want you to hear what he's doing with his device. It's unbelievable stuff. I actually own a BrainTap device, and I want you to understand what happens when we start really training the brain after the adjustment. It's a pretty powerful process. So we've got a lot more coming. Don't give up on this series. I want you to take it all the way to the end. Now, I want to remind you again, please share this with your colleagues. I want you taking them to the initial link so they can go from session 1 all the way through so they get the foundation. They can go to our website at onechiropractic.org and go up into our menu and do the neurologically based chiropractic tab, and it'll take them to the series. You can throw them to our Facebook page. We have a link there. We want people to start this journey from the beginning. So I'm so happy a lot of you are enjoying this, but I need you to actually send this to other people. So we've got so much more coming to you. I can't wait to share with you all the different perspectives of neurologically based chiropractic. But at the end of the day, remember the power of what you do. The power of the adjustment is so significant, and we can't give up on it. We can't change to other services because of reimbursement. We've got to double down on our belief in the adjustment, no matter what your technique is, which you learned from the Barwell series. So I want you to fall back in love with being a chiropractor. Have this little pit in your stomach, this chip on your shoulder that says, no, I'm going to fight for what I know is true. That's what our forefathers did, right? And we've got to start doing that. We have the same kind of issue today, part of it within our own profession, part of it externally, but we've got to stand up and love and believe what we're doing. So thank you so much for being a part of this series. I hope today has blessed you and motivated you and let you know, give you a purview of what's to come. But we're going to keep pushing this envelope and keep giving me your feedback. I'm recording these things as we go. So if you have other ideas or questions or things that you want to see in the series, please let me know, and we'll be sure to add those things as we continue to do some sessions. So we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for loving what I love, and keep telling the story of chiropractic. It's one of the best stories out there. We love you. God bless.